Okay, so I'm going to try this new thing. Well, not new, but new to your Auntie Sarsci. Hello, darlings. Happy Monday. And today's a holiday, so I am very happy about that because I didn't have to go to work. Ah, yes, I had a very nice 3 day long weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, so hopefully you leave your thoughts on how well or poorly I do with my first ever recording. This is a review of Love is Blind, Season 6, Episode 1. It's called Higher Love of Triangles. I'm doing it again. I know. I felt like, I might have actually missed some stuff. So, anyway, I know. Third time's the charm. So, darlings, I know. I'm just going to go and burst through the proverbial wall and get to the nitty gritty review of Love is Blind Season 6, episodes 1 through 4, but this one it will be episode 1. And again, it's called Higher Love of Triangles. Well, I added of triangles because it's like higher love. It's like the whole episode is basically showing us all the love triangles that the show has. So, again, just a reminder, these are simply my personal views on what is shown on my screen via the show's episodes. Of course, I had to add my dash of snarky humor and cynical side eyeing, but it's all for entertainment and just for a dash of humor. Yeah, it is not to be taken seriously. Okay? Anyway, disclaimer will be at the bottom of this video. Now then, let's see. Do you guys remember season 5? Yeah, me too. It was sleepy for the most part. I don't know, for me, it just was, could have been better, but then, was it? Yeah, well, anyway. So season 6, it looked promising from the previews. Most of us, I had to look down because I'm like, wait, have I been talking for like a minute and my mic is off? How funny. Most of us have seen the shows, the season 1s through this season, which is now season 6. So before season 6 dropped, there was a lot of previews that was kind of hinting at who would be cast members, or what would their roles, I would say, and the show would be like. Are they going to be the main character, or you have the side characters, the friends of the ones that didn't really make a connection but they stay on the show because they're friends of main character or another. Anywho, those previews, if I'm not mistaken, were full of our melanated kings and queens. So let's do a quick roll call. I can recall Jamal, who is 32 years old, is a store director, but actually he looks to me like a youth pastor. Don't throw tomatoes at me. I don't know. That's just how I read him from the screen, okay? I don't know him in person. That's just my opinion, my review, my thoughts from what I see on the screen. Let's see who else. There's Danielle. She's 30 years old. Was she in the Army Reserves or is in the Army Reserves? I'm not sure. Question mark on that. She is currently doing corporate communications. Girl, hello. Get you that bag. Alejandra, who is a 28-year-old financial consultant. And while we do see her chatting in the women's lounge, we don't actually see much of her dating in the actual pods. Those parts are cut because, well, you can only see so much, right? But then at the same time, it's I would have wanted more of a variety of contestants, not just we have AD and Clay and Matthew, that love triangle, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. But yeah, again, it's pretty much the same formula, I guess, as previous. Or the producers just thought maybe, for what it's worth, we just need to focus on what we currently have, the the sparks that we have. So anyway, that's I'm not a part of the show, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. There's also a few others I feel had been relegated to the periphery as like filler cast members. Again, those are like friends of the main characters. At least that's how I filed them all in my head. Anyway, again, just my opinion. You don't have to agree. And lest we all forget, the seasons past season one has been sprinkled with devastatingly charming people who've been playing this romantic card to get on the show and get famous for the most part. Okay? Yes, for sure. Like, let's not even, like, yeah, let's not even lie about that. I mean, isn't it? For the most part. No, you can't make me change my mind on that. It's just, it's been true for a whole lot of people. Like, haven't we been terrorized with the menace that is Uche? Ziggy, is it Ziggy? Iggy? Ishi? Something like that. Arena, Micah, Carlton. Hello. Who can forget Carlton? Barista? Baris. Shake, Jared, the guy who didn't have like an actual, well, no, he had a mattress, but it was on the floor and he didn't, yeah. Anyway, Josh and Jackie, yes, they are a twofer, as you guys know. Renee's fiance, I don't recall his name, but oh, in Captain America, you know, the dude who didn't like makeup on his fiance and like all the others, I can't remember at this very moment. Anyway, again, please be forewarned. I am definitely watching these available episodes since the season just dropped as a cynical, snarky BFF. Can think of it that way. Except I'm not trying to channel my BFF Shelby, you know, from Micah's season, or her show BFF, Irina, okay, or Irina. Now and then, let's get to my snarky recap now, shall we? So let's jump onto the contestants. Don't know how to speak now. Onto the contestants who made a foothold in most of the viewers' opinions of them. Right off the jump, let's begin with the menace that is drumroll please. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's not a drumroll, but anyway, it's the best I can do. Matthew, from the previous, dude, looked like an upstanding citizen, like somebody who would never get a parking ticket or like go over 65 miles an hour or whatever the posted speed limit is on the highway and or surface streets. At 38-year-old, he is the oldest. Is he the oldest? I think he's the oldest contestant. So with that, one would assume, right, he would bring a more stable, mature mindset to the cast. Well, I'll be damned. Out the window those are. Matter of fact, I don't even think those attributes got on a plane or the car with him. Like, he closed the door and drove off without those attributes. Jeez Louise. Was he awkward though? Was he? Yes. Check. Was he a dense rock? Possibly. Was he playing 21 questions, but the rule only applied to his dates? Absolutely. Look, I know a lot of finance geeks and damn, they have more social skills than dear old Matthew. I cannot with this dude. He walks out at a few of his dates from, you know, what I, obviously you guys have seen it if you've seen episode 1. It is just plain rude. Like, dude, darling, you're in the wrong fucking show. For reals. And even more shocking is the connection he built. I'm using that term loosely, by the way, because in the end, he showed his true colors and tried to manipulate AD's emotions into accepting his BS. Ooh, I digress. Spoiler alert. That was a spoiler alert. Sorry. He just had me like, ooh, Matthew. Yee. But, let's get back on the horse here. On track, I should say. But Miss AD, Amber Desiree, is a 32-year-old real estate agent originally from Boston, Massachusetts. So I am rooting for her to make good, sound decisions. Rooting for AD to make good, sound decisions. Fingers crossed. because we've already said, I mean, I've already mentioned that, Matthew is a menace. But wait, there's more. Matthew is in a love triangle with AD and Clay. Bet you didn't see that coming now, did you? Can you believe, like, Matthew? Hello. And speaking of, the next member who stood out, and this is not a compliment, is Clayton. Just mentioned him because he struck me as another shake from Sean and Natalie's season. If you guys recall, I forget what season that was though, but there it is. He's your smooth talking, I'll be in your pants by the end of the night kind of guy. Ladies' man in all of his glory. And what better way to show off your flirty skills than being on Love is Blind, right? I'm sorry, but he really doesn't give at all. He doesn't give me at all that, like, I'm looking for real romance vibes. Maybe 30 seconds of fame. Yeah. But then I get the same vibe, the 30 seconds of fame from Matthew also. So they're on the same boat. Anywho, he does not gloss over his need to know the physical attributes of his potential mate, though. Clay. Like, he prefers what he prefers, but at the same time, it's like, sir, I'm sure there's a contract that you had to sign that outlines, what the premise of the show is. I mean, it is called Love is Blind. Like, hello. Haven't you seen the previous seasons? I'm sure by now you have. Sir. And come now, Clayton is over here trying to be slick and trying to get AD to slip up and describe her physical appearance. But AD, queen that she is, she's not here to be trifled with, honey. And I don't know if y'all caught when the camera panned to Clay while he was scratching his toes and touching his face with the same hand. Like, why were you scratching your toes? I mean, was it really like super, super itchy? But okay, no. No. Sanitize your hand, bro. Grossy. It was just grossy. It's like, ooh, just gross, just ugh, disgusting. And then there's next, we have Jessica, 28-year-old single mom to Autumn, her 10-year-old daughter, who almost sounds like Jessica from season 1. Do you guys remember her? She's the one who let her dog drink wine from her goblet because I forgot. I forgot the reason she gave, but I don't know. You know what? From that season, from that specific moment, I feel like the dog had the best time because the dog got to drink wine from her goblet. Can you believe that? I mean, hello. I do wonder if the dog had like, hangover or something. I don't know. Do dogs get hangovers? I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to find out. Thank you very much. Anyway, this season 6 Jessica, however, strikes me more of a beauty queen type. I know she has a 10-year-old, but she's definitely fit and fab and is falling fast for Jimmy, who is also 28 years old, and is a software salesman. Sorry, I burped. And I don't know. I felt like, he's like also a closet, not here looking for real romance vibes. I don't know why I'm getting this from like the men so far. He was definitely surprised by Jessica's news that she is indeed a mother, and Jimmy, for all of the strength in his body, could not stay on the conversation and like struggles to stay on his toes to try and steer that conversation further into like a separate subject, or like at least respectfully pause the subject until he's had time to process, because I don't know why. But the camera did help us out by obviously panning to his reaction, which is all that we needed. He does try to attempt to muster it's not a deal breaker, sort of like a half apology, half let's move on from this, and I'm not buying it at all. Like the tone in his voice definitely has changed and the dynamic shifted. Like if I was in the room, I would have felt it, even though there was a wall between us. I'm just saying, that's how palpable it was on the screen. So I'm sure it was like 100 times that in the actual pods. Well, at least for now for him. So who knows? Will he change his mind? Maybe, maybe not. And speaking of, Jimmy does also have a strong connection with another cast member. Didn't I mention this is like episode one is the episode of the love triangles, like plural. He does have his strong connection with cast member Chelsea, who is 30-year-old. She's not a mom, but she is a divorcee. She has been divorced for some time, married before, and unfortunately, she spills the beans to Jimmy. While Jimmy was still nursing this fresh news from Jessica having a daughter, so obviously that news smacked him upside the head. And he needed a drink after those 2 days, and that is for sure, honey. Like, he looked like somebody just owed him $500,000 and like just fell off the face of the earth or something. Okay, maybe that's a little bit more of a hyperbole, but I'm just saying, you get the gist. So while talking to Chelsea after she shares her news with him, his words were stumbling out of his mouth, and like while I feel like the ladies needed to also be mindful of his feelings, Jimmy also needed to learn quickly on, like, I feel he needs to learn to articulate his emotions through his words so as not to confuse and give the wrong impression to people, like not even just to like his connection with who is Jessica and Chelsea, but like everybody else in his orbit. So yeah. Anyway, those three are definitely in a love triangle. But will they be the only ones? Time will tell, honey. Time will tell. So we have two, right? So far, we have AD, Matthew, and Clay. And then we have Jimmy, Jessica, and Chelsea. And no sooner as this news unfolds that we find out Chelsea is also in a love triangle with Trevor. Hello. So she's in a love triangle with Trevor and Jimmy. Big, hulking, 30-year-old Trevor was an account manager. He's a softy inside. You just have to get past his bulging muscles and towering height, though. I mean, the guy looks rock solid. Like, holy cow. Like, like he just like drinks muscle milk all day. Okay, I don't know. That's just a joke. But anyway, yeah, guy. So Trevor does seem to like Chelsea a lot. They seem to really have a good connection. They seem to appreciate each other's honesty and like their sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. And Chelsea shares the same feelings, but I'm not sure if her feelings for Trevor is actually as strong as her feelings for Jimmy. She doesn't even recall telling Trevor that she was like married, which I have to say though, to Trevor's credit, he doesn't seem to like get phased by this. His tone doesn't change. He listens. He tries to dig deeper into that subject without coming off like he's belittling Chelsea and her past. Like some people when you open up about certain things in your past, such as having been married. In this instance, having been married, people make you feel bad about it. Some, not all, but some, especially when you're dating. So anyway, but Trevor doesn't do that, so that's really cute. He is at least aware the potential mates have had a whole life before meeting him, and vice versa. So again, kudos to him. I really hope that he and Chelsea go the distance. Anyway, next we have Amy, who is a 27-year-old e-commerce retail specialist who was born in Puerto Rico. Did I like? And migrated to the United States with her family when she was very young. She shares with her pod date, Johnny, her love for anime and binging on Naruto. Okay, they're not binging it together separately, but she's from a tight knit family in New Jersey, and He is from a tight knit family from New Jersey, and for some reason, they strike me as very wholesome. Like, they can even make it to the altar wholesome. Like, they just don't strike me as like they would have any kind of drama between them. No, it's just that's my read on them. They're just too cute. Too cute. It's like they only have eyes for each other. It seems to me like, even though it's, obviously it's only episode one, but yeah, I really hope that the dynamic does not change. And I'm really rooting for the two of them. She's close to her family. He's close to his family. I really do. I mean, their values align. They seem to enjoy each other's companies. I do hope that their family, like they when they get married, and I hope they get married, their families, will just merge into one big loving family. So there's that. And also before I forget, we cannot end this episode on these love triangles alone because we have another one that's not on my radar, but reared its ugly head. Additional, Matthew, AD, and not just Clayton, Matthew, AD, and Amber now is another love triangle. Amber, who is a 30-year-old, his profession is medical device sales. Amber seems to have been given the same, like, hey, what would your dad think if I leave, or like, if I got engaged with you and I didn't ask for his, like, permission first? Or what was the other line that Matthew gave AD? If I leave, would you leave with me? Again, this is from Matthew. From when the episode begun, he was so stoic and he's like kept to himself. And I have a feeling though he forgot his spreadsheet, like to check his spreadsheet, which girl he had given these lines to. Because, sir, yeah, look, I cannot. Was your pivot table not working that day? I mean, what was going on? But still, why would you're recycling the lines? You don't. You forgot that they sleep in the same quarters. Hello. I just can't. Matthew, it just ugh. Unfortunately, though, this is shared by Amber with AD. You probably didn't realize AD is also into Matthew as well. So yes, Matthew, you don't fuck up. Shake my damn hand. You had a good thing going. You just had to try and be cool. Bruh. Anyway, that's my recap of the show, and hopefully it wasn't too snarky. And yes, that last part was a spoiler alert. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. It's like, just saying. Anyway, darlings, thank you so much for sitting with me and listening to my snarky little review. This is a review of Love is Blind Season 6, Episode 1, Higher Love. And again, this is just my personal review. It is not meant to be copying copyrighted work or anything like that. Okay? Everybody retains the rights to their own work. And again, the disclaimer will be at the bottom of the video's description. Thank you. And before I forget, your auntie has to leave you a little bit of words of wisdom. Remember, you are fabulous. So you can only continue to be fabulous, little you. And I know it's hard, but do try to leave grace for others. And the journey, even though sometimes it's long and lonely, remember to always journey in gratitude. Toodaloo, darlings. Until next time, I shall see you again on the next episode. Bye.